And the great he did upon me gets covered up, and all of the evidence stays with Kim Worthy. The evidence of his great on me and the homicide evidence gets to stay with you.
Real life. If it ain't real life, it ain't acting.
If it ain't real life, just ain't real life street star. You know what time it is.
Yes, hell, I want to know what justice for Derek looks like right now. Jeez. Hell.
He's entitled to 49% of whatever Combs Enterprise has amassed in the past 30 years. Almost 30 years. That's what he's entitled to. He already won a $100 million judgment. See, this is what was going on in the background while whatever that foolishness we just watched happen was happening. This was all going on in the background. It's starting to make you wonder if that trial happened to cover this up.
Hey. Now, Jag, hold on. Diddy spoke to the judge before sentencing, and it sounded like he was taking accountability.
Yeah, accountability for what? Same kind of
Oh,
accountability he took after he told everybody Cassie was lying on him, and then he got popped on my birthday when the video came out on CNN. And then he had to come back and do the whack-a-doodle-doo.
yeah, I guess accountability for what he got caught for.
How does now nobody not see that uh, the apology he gave for Cassie after he called her a liar for months and said that it wasn't true, she was making it all up? How does nobody not see that they're the same apology? How does nobody not see that what he just did in that courtroom was no different than the monologue that was in Blink Twice?
No, man. Do
It's the
um,
same monologue.
does it account for anything though that he started to feel sorry for his actions?
Sorry for his actions.
He's been sitting in
If he was
NBC for you.
actually sorry, do you think he would have allowed his legal team to destroy those women like that on that stand? See, you sat there and you let your legal team rip those people to shreds while they were barely being protected by the feds on direct or cross. And now you want to apologize? You want to know what apology would really mean something to me? If he apologized to Derek Lee Cordello Smith for stealing almost 30 years of his life, essaying him, pharmaceuticaling him up with the G to the H to the B, and trying to get away with robbing him. You know, when Derek made his investment into Bad Boy, it wasn't just him. There were 9 other gentlemen that invested $150,000 each, by the way. Young black men saved up their money, stacked up their cash to invest into this animals company. And it's been appreciating all this time. Ask me how many of those investors, other than Derek, are still alive.
Jeez, how many? Sheesh.
Kind of like Uptown Records. Only one left. Derek.
Wow. Wow. And for him to apologize for it would mean that he would have to admit that it happened. And then that means there may be other Dereks out there. And I'm not saying at the level of that, but
Yeah, yeah. Like, say
it
you're
doesn't
sorry.
bode well.
Say you're sorry to somebody who's without a doubt your victim. Because there's medical evidence that proves it. His semen found inside another man.
That headline is wild.
Apologize to him. Acknowledge him. Pay him his money. Oh, that's right. You can't, because right now you went from 1 billion to 300 million, and you probably owe Derek somewhere around 250 to 400. So paying him will kind of leave you just destitute.
It, yeah, a lot of people look at it like this hasn't affected his pockets technically, as far as just on the status
What's
level.
affected his pockets? It's just left him. He's still got enough to play with.
A lot to play with. I mean,
Yeah, for now. For now. They want him to go to New Jersey. They want him to go to Fort Dix, one of the weakest guarded federal penitentiaries in the United States. I would know. I know Fort Dix. It's a real nice place to take somebody. So when they finally get to go outside out in the yard, they can just get somebody to come and extract them right up out of there. You can leave and you don't have to worry about ever being held accountable. See, I'm not dumb. I ain't nobody's fool. People like being fooled these days. People like being lied to. They want to believe in the land of make believe. Diddy said sorry, and now we can all go home and have ice cream. Fuck you mean? People want to ask me questions about what?
boy, and no, and we asked you this before. Like, is the average person ready
My
for the truth of
interview with
Hollywood?
Derek. My interview with Derek. My interviews, because I'm doing a series of interviews with him.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, there we go.
Can't wait for the world to hear what he has to say in his own words. But I just want everybody to start with this transcript. Because, see, with all of the crimes that they've put on this man's name, with everything that they've done to make him look like an absolute degenerate who should be put down like a dirty dog, with everything that they've done to ruin it so people would never believe a word that came out of his mouth. See, when you start here with these transcripts from 1998, which were sealed and then unsealed in 2007 and then sat there in the clerk's office, and nobody knew about it because nobody knew to come and get it. Nobody knew where to get it. Different names on the same case number. They thought they were clever. But see, when you start here,
Oh, please.
let's just read a little bit, shall we? I know we ain't got a lot of time left, so let's try to get in what's important.
Please.
Derek, the defendant, says on record, thank you, sir. Okay, now, because Miss Worthy was being a little bit difficult on the stand. Actually, let me give you a little bit of context about how this whole hearing even happened to begin with. They were pressing Derek about taking the deal to dirty himself up and to agree to plead no contest. to a bunch of rape that he didn't commit. He was refusing to take the deal he was fighting. Derek alleges that there were threats to harm and eliminate his family if he did not go along with it. There was a lot that was being put on him. So he made the deal that if they did this separate hearing, acknowledging the whole truth and nothing but the truth, he would plead. That was smart, wasn't it?
Without question.
So yeah. So that's how we have this transcript, because he was smart enough to ask for a hearing where the truth was acknowledged before he went and lied on his own name and willfully went to jail for a bunch of stuff that he didn't do to save his family and to keep his investment secure in Bad Boy. But we'll hear about that in a second. Okay, so defendant, thank you, sir. Okay, now, Miss Worthy, I will be entering this plea to crimes I did not do in order to save my family from being targeted by this criminal empire and to ensure that I can be released in 25 years because I did, in fact, take a man's life. Now, while it was in self-defense, I still took his life, protecting a woman, and I have to be humiliated and have your office turn me into an sexual deviant who hurts women when I actually saved a woman. Is that correct? Kim Worthy, the witness, says, yes, correct. Do you understand that? Next thing you know, next thing on the record here, Derek, the defendant, says, this is the most horrendous thing I have ever seen in my life, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves. But you have the power, and I am just a pawn. As long as you, Ms. Worthy, and Sean Combs uphold their end of the deal, then we have a deal. My family is safe. My money gets to grow inside of Sean Combs' company. And the great he did upon me gets covered up, and all of the evidence stays with Kim Worthy. The evidence of his great on me and the homicide evidence gets to stay with you. Kim Worthy, the witness, says, yes, correct. The defendant says, okay, well then, let's do it since I have no choice. The witness says, no, you do not. The court says, okay, well, it appears to be all set. Anyone have anything to say in closing? And this is when Kim Worthy begins to speak. Yes, Mr. Cordello Smith, do not ever try to break this deal. I will not. And Sean has assured me he will not. If you do. But boy, not one person will ever believe you, even if you have this record unsealed. I am untouchable. But your family, and you saw what happened to Nevers and Budson, right? So do not break our deal. I will clear you later on, on any of the other grapes. But if you break it, I will add more and really make you look terrible. Believe me, I can do it today, tomorrow, or years from now. We have everything we need to make it happen. So get your ass in there and take that plea. And it is going to be guilty plea for the sex crimes. The defendant Derek says, okay, but I can assure you of this, Miss Worthy, one day this will all come back because the truth cannot be hidden. Light will always shine through the darkness. I am a man who saved a woman, not a man who hurts women. But that will all come out some other day in time. Kim Worthy, the witness, says, not today, though. Now, y'all heard what I read you. At that time, she was a sitting judge. She sat there and threatened that man's life and threatened his family.
Mm, damn.
This is in 1998. You want to know what's even wilder? There's a moment where the judge refers to Diddy as their good friend in New York.
I mean, Diddy was the Puff Daddy back then. I mean, he was building a band and running the city. Uh, he was the flavor of the year that and around that time.
This was
I-
in New York. This wasn't in New York. This was in Detroit.
oh yeah, Detroit. Shit, I don't know
He's
how
not
the hell.
from Michigan.
I don't know how the hell.
So we know he has ties to New York. We know he has ties to Atlanta. We know he has ties to Florida. We know he has ties to LA. Now we know that he has ties to Detroit. How many other metropolises in the United States has he been able to infect at the highest levels of government to be able to do his bidding? That the Detroit judge saying, our good friend in New York gotta pay the bills somehow. Amen to that. Now, I know y'all had some questions from the other side that you wanted to ask me. Ask me now.
Yeah. Another question from that side of the fence would be, even with Derek, is a silent no different from a verbal no? And does the two even exist? Is there a difference as far as someone verbally saying no to a graping or
Well,
a
it's hard to
silent
say
no?
no when you've been pharmaceuticaled up and you passed out.
Exactly.
Because that's what happened to Derek.
Okay. Okay. Definitely. 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 Um, Jack, you're from this world. We seen the video. If you go to type in Luke and Jay Z in Twitter, you'll see a video of Jay Z sitting next to Luke, Uncle Luke, with two women next to him eating each other out. Another two bearing chests. A very what wouldn't look good today. And again, we go back to, hey, this was the norm back then. Y'all, people call it freak offs. Others will call it, hey, we just partying. You were part of an era back then where it was transitioning to before the Me Too movement, because it was such a norm back then. And again, like I said, laws and morality changes. Do you feel, as morality did change in society, has it gotten better or worse based on what we used to see versus what we see now versus what's behind closed doors in front of our faces? Because this was on a show called Luke's Playhouse. And I'm like now that couldn't even happen today where Jay-Z sits there and whoop-de-doo.
You want to know what I find funny? That those images are still around for people to see, that they haven't been destroyed. And nobody's saying, well, if he was able to do that, because see, the question ain't nobody asking is whether or not these women that were sitting there making meals out of each other for these dudes' entertainment were legal. Well, nobody's even asking if they were legal.
Yeah, that's man. That's a whole nother
But,
situation.
regardless of all of that, clearly the Jigga Man was cool with being in the presence of men who did stuff like this. So why don't he claim his friend the dealer? Usually when stuff like this comes out and somebody was associated with somebody that was attached to a bunch of heinous things, forget just saying that you weren't friends with that person. Usually you denounce the kind of behavior that they was doing and say, I'm not okay with that. And I stand with the victims. I had no idea he was doing this kind of stuff. Has anybody heard the Jigga Man say one word of protest to anything that the diddler has done at all? Nothing more than we weren't friends. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
distraction. There's a lot of distraction going on right now. Lot of distraction going on right now. I'm trying to keep it as close to reality as I possibly can because see, Derek Lee Cordell Smith, that's reality. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say about me and about the this and oh man, oh I can't stand her talking about this. I can't stand her talking about that. No, the reason why they can't stand me talking about it is because they don't want to take responsibility for the fact that they watched it and cheered it all along and they enjoyed it for their own entertainment. That's why people have a problem with me.
What What do you say about Young Miami, who has been quiet this whole time?
No,
And
she hasn't. She wrote a letter to
oh
Judge
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Subramanian and said that Diddy was a man of God. And technically, she's almost right because he was pretending to be clergy when he went to the jail right before HSI busted into his house to go visit Derek Lee Cordello Smith as Brother Love, the clergy.
Hey, Jack, hey,
You see what I'm saying? This is almost kind of unfair.
so as we go back to the sentencing, 4 years, 2 months. Um, Once that got out there,
Mhm.
Diddy's gonna go sit down in, like you said, probably a low max uh, camp, fed time. The judge had spoken to him, and he started off with the good he's been doing, but he spoke a lot on the bad. But then he still kind of gave him, like you said, right in the middle of the road. But he said he wanted to see him get out and everything he said he's gonna do and preach and be this better, you know, uh, person in society. The punishment doesn't seem to fit what the crime, because the judge said based on sentencing, he took into account the statements of the victims. He said, yes, we know you're innocent of this RICO, but I cannot take away what I heard as
No,
far as
it's
the
not that
victim's
he's
testimony.
innocent. See, and that I have a hard time dealing with. It's not that he's innocent of it. He just wasn't convicted of it.
There you go. There you go.
See, that's the thing. People think that because somebody's not convicted of something, that means that they're innocent of it. And that's not true. If you were able to buy off the jury, do you know that there is a grand jury indictment right now against Sean Combs for allegedly buying off one of the jurors for the Club New York gun violence case against him back in 2000?
Yeah, no, no, that's
Yeah, yeah. He was
yeah.
trying to buy three jurors. You want to know what didn't happen during that federal trial this year? The jury wasn't sequestered. There was nothing but YouTubers all over the place in that courtroom, outside that courtroom, watching what trains those jurors got on to go home.
Do you feel like they did us an injustice by not? And I know it's the feds, but should they have put this trial uh, on court TV or something? Should we have had a visual uh, like history of this trial for?
It really don't matter. Like that's the thing. This trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that. It means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me. That's why this was done. This ain't even about Diddy. It's about the rest of them. Do you know they're still having white parties?
And whose honor? What?
Yeah, they're still having white parties. Michael Rubin is throwing them now. You know the guy that
Yeah, we've
Meek
heard those
Mill's
stories.
bunny hops for?
Yeah, little baby. We've heard some stories. Yeah, we've seen the bunny hop.
You, you, you know who he's cool with, right? Who he's very close with? Mr. Carter. So it went from Diddy's camp throwing the white parties to now the Jigga Man's camp is throwing the white parties. Interesting.
Very. Can I ask you? Early on, this story was a Cassie Ventura story. For her to receive 20 million settlement plus 10 million from the hotel, plus Diddy getting sentenced to 4 years, does Cassie get justice in all this?
Still
Does that
not
look like?
enough. Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she's getting such a better deal than dear Lee Cordell Smith is.
30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean,
Still not enough.
jeez.
Her life is never going to be the same. And people are going to find ways to make her life complicated to force her to have to spend that 30 million every way they possibly can. You know, there is no up. There is no win. Haven't I been saying that?
Yeah, like you said, it's all really make believe. I mean, this is all just for show or something. Is there a lesson to be learned here, though, at all? Like, is there a lesson for generations to come to learn from this?
Stop being so anxious to be a follower. Stop being so quick to be on that brandy bullshit. I wanna be down. We got too many people that want to be down.
Yeah.
We got too many people that want to be around all of this stuff. And we have enough instances of fuck what's right and wrong. As long as there's enough money to throw at it, it's going to be whatever we want it to be.
Now we speak on hubris, where Diddy, they say, had set up speaking engagements a week after he was technically wanted to walk free.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, we talk about hubris and things of that nature.
God said no.
Yeah.
God told him, sit your black ass down.
So I guess the
You
question
wanna know what
is,
was really sad?
please.
There's a woman, what is it called? Sprout to success or something like that. Some kind of charter school, private, independent private school in Miami Gardens, which is right there in the area of South Florida where he's been warden for Satan of. Because he ain't nothing but a shepherd for the devil. But she was going to invite him to come to the school to speak to her students there, K through 12. Mhm. Yeah. You want to know what I find really interesting? All of these people that wanted to bring him to schools and bringing him this and bringing him that. How the hell are they going to do that when he's on the SEX offenders registry list? He's not allowed to be around kids.
That does make moving a little hard.
He's, he's not allowed to be around school. He's on the register. Didn't I already do a tutorial about the registry? Like, I don't know. He is a registered SEX offender, and people want to bring him to school.
What do you expect him to be doing? I mean, again, he's not going to be in long. They say with points and time served, and any type of
We'll
he might
see.
he might be out
We'll
by
see.
Christmas next year.
People say a lot of things. You know what else they said? They said he was going to get bail. How did that work? You know what else they said at the end of that trial, even after he was found guilty of the Mann Act, they was putting together a 4th of July party. How did that work? People say a lot of things, don't they? I guess they don't hear God say no. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I'm not even trying to guess. What I am praying for, though, is that real victims and real survivors actually get the attention that they deserve, that they get the justice that they deserve. I'm praying that Derek is going to be able to get out of jail. I'm hoping that the interview that I do with him will be able to get enough traction for there to be a doorway open for him to walk out of that jail and be able to go and collect the money that is owed to him. I'm hoping that the other like 100 civil cases will not just be left at civil cases and will actually be turned to criminal cases, because they should be, because I got a big issue with everyone thinking that money is the end all be all into stopping a predator from operating. It is not.
Amen.
It is not. Why do so many of these cases stay civil? Why aren't they turned criminal when there's criminal acts all through the pages?
Can you file a criminal charge and still get money off of a like? Can you sue later, or is it
I
strictly
mean,
victims
look
looking for
on
money?
Brown Simpson's family. OJ was acquitted and they was able to take him to civil court and get him for bread. It really doesn't matter which way you do it.
That is true.
It can go either way. A civil proceeding and a criminal proceeding is just two different proceedings. But if you have criminal acts in a civil proceeding, just because someone gets paid or it gets settled and people get paid out, it doesn't mean that those acts shouldn't be tried criminally.
Would you be surprised if Diddy has a music career after this?
Why? He barely had one before.
God damn.
Well, what is a music career? What is his music career? What instrument does he play? What does he know about music? He knows nothing.
The fiddle?
No, not even that. There was no music career. There was him collecting a bunch of hungry and desperate people who wanted to be successful at their God-given gifts, and him taking advantage of them, and then him putting his name all over everything. How was that?
Someone had once said you have to separate the art from the artist, or the talent from the man, meaning that
What
his
talent? The only thing he's talented at is hurting people and destroying lives. I don't want to separate him from that. I wish everyone else would stop trying to. See that?
And not to segue too far from that, but we have to get your take on. And again, if you have an opinion on it, two female rappers, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, going at it. Kids get involved, things get ugly. All Twitter wars. When a Jaguar Wright sees something like this, and this is the women, this is hip hop, I guess you could say.
Is it?
Is this fair
Is
game?
that
Yeah,
what hip hop is now?
that's the question.
That's not hip hop. And honestly, the simple fact that people are even making that seem like it has something to do with the culture only goes to show exactly how far we are removed from it. It's yeah, it's reality TV with a soundtrack. I ain't interested. I ain't interested. See, my interests have changed. My interests are now focused on the harm that this so-called hip hop culture has done to the public and what we can do to turn it around. What we can do to stop making weirdo behavior a prerequisite for success in entertainment.
But if you were to speak to the young girl, 16 years
See,
old
this
with
is
a
why I
voice,
showed up with my hair tied up like Tupac, G.
come
Like,
on now,
this is why I'm on my Tupac today.
come on now. What would you say to the young girl that is promised a music career? Come out to LA, come out to New York, come out to Miami. I'm gonna put you in the studio.
Go back to my first interview on Real Life Street Stars and see what I have to say.
Yeah, man.
Refer back to that video. Was I wrong?
Hey,
Looking back now?
at all,
Looking back over the years, was I wrong?
man. Not at all. Jeez. Uh, the you want to say the
Oh,
rooster?
Mikey, hold on a second. Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. That was an important call. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, because I know I got to get ready to go.
Yeah. Again, what we want to say, and as we close this out, is that everything that you've said from this journey, and I don't want to use the term whistleblower, but you spoke on not only your experiences, but technically other women's experiences. And obviously, now that we know men's experiences through this, and we're kind of surprised how many men are involved as victims as well in all this. As we go forward and as we have further conversations, like you said, this is all probably just a charade for what's really going on behind the closed curtain.
Looking like
What do what is next in regards to hip hop, in regards to Jaguar Wright, in regards to storytelling, in regards to speaking truth?
all I can say is stay tuned. Stay tuned, because this case, Derek's case, is you know, between Derek's case and Demore and Javon Hadley's case this year. Those two cases for me. Stay tuned. That's all I can say. I can't really say much more than that. I'm I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm pissed
Mm, I hate to see a piss Jaguar Wright, boy.
because people keep playing these games, you know? They keep pretending like I'm making stuff up. They keep pretending like I'm just doing this for shits and giggles. Like I imagine what it's like for me reading the pages, some of what I just shared with you, and then listening to people talk about how unfair Diddy's being treated right now and how he apologized and how he's sorry. Imagine what that's like for me.
Without question. Jag, for those I don't know when these dairy conversations are coming. If you if you're able to
Very
give us,
soon
okay, okay. And
on the
where,
Jaguar Wright Effect
yes.
and on my Patreon, and I'll be sharing some clips on the rest of my social media outlets. A lot of stuff is going to be members only because a lot of stuff is going to be really hardcore. But I would say just tune into the Jaguar Wright Effect or get a membership on over on my Patreon. Yeah, I'm like I just I don't got time. I really don't. Like these people out here, the stuff that they want to believe what you want to believe. I'm gonna tell you this: every time you refuse to fight for what you know is good, all you're doing is voting for evil. Like they're really, we've gotten to a point now where we need to acknowledge that there is no in between. There is no safe place to stand. It's either you fighting for the angels or you sliding down the devil's shaft. Like Little Nas X twerking all the way down. Like I don't, people look at Little Nas X butt naked in the street in the middle of the night, and people think this is
I mean, they say he was on, they say could have been drugs, mental
no,
breakdown.
no. They said they found nothing in his system.
Oh, goddamn. High on life.
Yeah, high as hell
Damn,
on
damn.
life, running around in panties and white boots.
If you don't mind, Jag, by closing us out, can you speak to the victims that haven't come forward, not only in Sean Combs' case, but in all cases in regards to being in the celebrity world where they feel the assailant is too big to come at, to touch, or their voices may not be heard. Can you speak to those victims that haven't come forward yet?
I'm still here, waiting on all of y'all. I'm still here, waiting on every last one of you. And I pray for all of you every day. I pray for every last one of you. I know what it looks like. For crying out loud, I'm sitting here looking at Derek's case. He's been sitting there for almost 30 years. If he hasn't given up, none of us can either.
Uh,
And yeah, I keep you all in my prayers. And I pray the whole world sees all of you soon.
and lastly, Jaguar Wright music. What can anything in that world?
Doing my
Anything?
best. I'm doing my best to try to get some stuff together. It's funny. Every time I try to pull a project together, pull something out, something goes wrong. There's some kind of agitation. There's some kind of this. There's some kind of that. I would like to meet the people that work so hard to pay people or harass people or scare people from working with me. I would love to meet them. I really would.
They might fuck around and like you.
Um, I'm not. I'm not giving up on music yet, but right now, everything is going to happen in God's time. I got to, raising money is almost impossible. The amount of money that I have to spend to keep my life safe, just everything. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm actually going to be doing a donor day, and I'm going to be doing them more. If I can get things to the point where we're able to pay for everything ourselves and we don't have to go into business with anyone or, work with anyone, because everyone we try to work with, we end up getting screwed over one way or the other because somebody comes along, offers them money to do this, to do that. It's always the same. So, all I can say is if that's really what you want, then donate. Donate to my platforms. Trust me, people donate to a whole lot worse. I what I've given, I should just be able to make music for the rest of my life and perform for people and do whatever I want to do. I should be able to with everything I've sacrificed. But in God's time, I guess. That's what I'm really learning. It really doesn't come down to what I want or the way I want it. It really all comes down to what God wants. Trust me. I wish I could just be able to go into the studio and hire a bunch of musicians that I don't have to worry about whether or not they're informing on me.
Man. So, oh man.
I
There you
wish.
thank you. Yeah, it starts with that. It starts with that. And for every business deal that went bad, are you protected legally in those matters? Are you is
Oh,
it kind of just
it's not a matter of me being protected legally. It's about why can't I ever seem to be able to successfully sue anybody that screws me over.
hey,
But then again, you got to do this, you got to do that. The system works in very interesting ways. I wish it would just leave me the fuck alone and do something right for a change. But that might be asking a little bit too much in the devil's USA.
and the Devil's USA. With that being said, Jack, Noah, thank you as always for finding a home here to be able to get your voice across not only to your fans but to our fans as well. It's
Well,
only
I'm sure the chat is going to be interesting. The Hellcats love it every time I have a new video over here. All they do is sit here and just go crazy. God
oh
bless
man.
'em.
Well, this right here is
Thanks
an
for the
important conversation.
engagement, I guess.
Well, they let them dissect. Let them dissect. With that being said, please reiterate where to find you, where to follow cruelty free artists. Not the fake one. I don't know what the fake one is out there, but the real.
It has an extra wide. This is the right one. Feel free to donate here or my PayPal. You can go over to thejaguarwright.com. We have everything listed there, updates, whatever you need. Subscribe to my Patreon. Come over to my YouTube channel, The Jaguar Wright Effect. I'm Jaguar Wright everywhere else. And yeah, just stay tuned. We also have cruelty-free hoodies. Oh, and they're pretty awesome. They're awesome. We have one that has portrait that was done of me in chalk, and then we have another one that just has the cruelty-free kids logo. It's really fun. So, please, in any way, engage. We appreciate you. And yeah, that's it.
Definitely. With that being said, Jack, we have to say it. I mean, I feel like it should be automatic, but y'all already know, Jaguar Wright, you are a real life street star. We salute.
Until next time.